So can we start, sir?
6:30 ஆயிடுச்சுங்கம்மா ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
அது
எஸ் சார் செகண்ட் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா சார்?
ஒரே நிமிஷம் இருங்க ப்ளீஸ். நான் லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீமிங் போட்டுறேன். ரேஷ்மா?
Yes, sir. Can we start? Okay,
Yes,
sir.
please,
Thank you.
please.
Yes, sir. Good evening to one and all together here. It's give me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to day 4 of our faculty development program on advanced research methodologies, strategies for teaching and practice, organized by the PG and Research Department of Biochemistry, Sacred Heart College, Autonomous, Tirupattur. Day 3 was truly enriched and setting the perfect tone for the rest of the program. Today, we look forward to another exciting and insightful section. Let us continue this journey. Once again, I will very warm welcome to all. Now, it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Pungodai, Department of Biochemistry, to kindly introduce our resource person for today's section. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Reshma. Good evening to everyone. We are truly honored to welcome our distinguished today's chief guest, Dr. K. Sudarshan, Assistant Professor in the Department of Microbiology, School of Life Science, Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Study, Chennai. Dr. Sudarshan is a passionate academician and a researcher with over 10 years of professional experience, including 5 years in teaching and 5 years in advanced research. He holds a doctorate in industrial microbiology with specialization in areas such as biopolymers, food microbiology, which are the critical to the future of sustainable science and innovation. He has published over 25 research papers with the contribution index in Scopus and Web of Science. He presented various national and international platforms. He have the citation index of research 373, I index 11 and I10 index 12 in impressive academic footprint. Dr. Sudarshan has successfully completed multiple fund projects. He has received financial support from various funding agencies like TNSCST, TNEDI, and CSIR. Totally, he received 30 lakhs for funding projects, including CSR Direct, Senior Research Fellowship, and seed money, 1 lakh from Wales University. He is currently guiding 5 PhD scholars and continue to contribute actively to the research community with the dedication and the innovation. We need the privilege to have such a vibrant and accomplished academician among us today. Let us all join in warmly welcoming Dr. Sudarshan sir. Now, once again, I warm welcome to sir. Now I hand over the session to you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the very brief introduction about me. Let me begin this session. So today's topic will be bridging ideas to impact proposal writing and funding in multidisciplinary research. So before we begin this session, we need to have a very good idea about how to get a project, how we can write a proposal, which is the main part which is going to play in this one. Whether it's going to be a financial one, or it's going to be your idea, or the way you approach the methodology. So once we begin, before that, we have to take ideas from the experienced colleagues. So already some candidates or your colleagues would have gained research proposal writing skills, or they know how to approach certain institutions, example for government as well as for institution or any private one. So you can get the ideas from experienced colleagues, and you have to discuss with successful applicants and look for a new solution to old problems. So if you want to get an idea, so can anyone let me know how we can get an idea? Like what makes you to get an idea? Can anyone answer? Which part will make you to get an idea? To get an idea, what is required? Because once we get an idea, we can start to write a proposal. Do this, Madhu. What is becoming an idea? So how you get an idea? Can reply me through chat also. Problem, research problem, correct research problem.
हम लोग इधर है तो बोलो करना गिरा
So the actual answer is, to get an idea, we have to concentrate on the analytical results. So that is the basic need for a research. So once you get an analytical way of experiencing your own compounds, you will get a maximum proposal. Example, if you all know what is research, right? We again we find out many new things. But the basic need is to understand what are all the basic essential of a particular compound. So nowadays we could see the Nobel Prize winners are very few when we compare to the 18th and 19th centuries. Because at the time, the atoms or molecules or any kind of research, they give more importance for the basic research. So once you have very much experience with the basic research, you can propose for the advanced review. So if you found out, example, we have a recent opportunity, like if you reduce the atomic level for a lead, it converts it into gold. A certain, let's see, you can understand about the CRISPR, particularly silencing a particular gene will not express some cancerous cells. All these are starting from the basic one. So once we get the basic analytical results, it will become more catchy. So more readers will be reading all your research publication and everything. So that what is say for look for a new solution to old problems. So there is a famous saying, there is no grand ship that will turn a bad idea into a good one, but there are many ways to discuss a good idea. Example, if you say, if you are writing a proposal now, what will be the maximum barriers when you completed all your belongings, your materials and methods, your reviews, your literature survey, everything are excellent. Okay, you timely submitting all your protocols to the particular company, the DST or DBT, the CSIR. Okay, say for example, for TNSTST, or if it is an EDI project from MSME, you submitting any kind of project, the first thing, it's not selection. It is called elimination. That is the first one will come to any research, even though you adhere to all the principles, but what they look for is for the elimination. You would have concentrated more on your complex methodology, but would have not followed what are all the paragraphs has to be maintained in what font, what is the color, what is the size of the font, or what model it has to adhere. If you're not concentrated, just there are some 2 to 3 reviewers, what they will do, they will directly see it is not coming under this section. Just let reject the proposal. So basically it get rejected on the preliminary level itself. So you have to make sure there are eliminations are higher. When there will be selection, when the opportunities are very low, selection will be there. When the opportunities are high, rejection will be there. And next one, we start with a good idea. So poor ideas will not be successful even if they are packaged well. So good ideas may not be successful if they are not packaged well. So make sure your research proposal are giving in a complete package. So how you can improve the package? You have to identify the right program for your idea. That is from your analytical research. You're gaining an idea and you find the right program for that. So we have to ask some basic questions. These are the question number 1. Does your idea fit to the stated purpose of the program? Yes. If it is yes, then definitely you are in the box now. Then try to find out abstract of some previously funded project under the program. Yes, we can also get it through some literature reviews and then discuss with experienced seniors to relate your idea to the program priorities. So always you require some expertise. You have to follow the rationally, right? You require some expertise. It may be a collaboration with another or your PhD guide or anyone of your friend or colleague who have already have some experience. Yes, you can include them. It can be a collaborative research. So these are the objectives we're going to see today. So basic steps in writing a grant proposal, features of a good research proposal, factors that influence the success of grant proposal. And the outline would be how to write a grant proposal writing skills, funding calls, elements of a good grant proposal, funding agencies, and some helpful information which I have gained through my research. So it is like a blueprint. A research proposal is like going to be your blueprint. Yeah? It's going to be a complete layout of your idea. And then writing a research proposal is both science as well as an art because you have an idea, but you never know how to express it. Even if you express it, you need some supporting documents, some relevant research. It should be in your field. If it is a new field and you don't have a relevant publication, it will not be a right choice for the proposal. A good research proposal is based on the scientific facts, on the art of clear communication. And then what is a research proposal? A research proposal describes how a researcher will do the research, a written plan of a research, a plan of action for conducting research, a step-by-step plan for conducting the study. So these are the basic things I hope everyone will know. What a basic researcher needs. You need to have a plan and conduct research, and it should be a priorities-based plan, a step-by-step. So these are the following conditions you should follow. A research proposal, clear and specific. Make sure if you're not just grazing around the bush, we normally say. It should be very clear and specific and with proper agenda, with proper guidelines. And the steps included according to the type of research. If it is going to be an automobile one, or going to be a civil, or it's going to be an agriculture one, or it's going to be a microbiology or biotechnology, make sure it goes according to the same parameter and not out of the boundary. And with proper citation, yes. How the citation plays a major role. If anyone started to read more publication of your same interest, say, for example, I'm very specific in biopolymers. When I read more biopolymers, I usually create an alert in Google's. When I receive a paper, I will not take more time. I will take more time to understand the abstract. I'll spend more time on the abstract. Once you read the abstract, you will have a very good idea on the introduction, the methods, what are all the key points, and the results. So once you see the abstract is very relevant to you, then you can start reading the whole paper so that you will get more citation. And whenever we write some theses or any kind of a report, it will be a simple past tense. But for writing a research proposal, it should be a future tense. Maybe some point of time you would have done some preliminary work that can be a simple past. But when you're going to say that small work is going to represent a future tense, so it should be in a future tense, especially for a research proposal. And it should be expected manner. Yes, it should follow the timeline. You should follow their proper rules, example to the font size, everything matters. And make sure you filled out all the application form. Example, in order to put nil or no, sometime usually we will skip all those pages. That also becomes a basic manner. That's called expected manner. So the steps of a research proposal varies on a type of research. You all know how to write. The basic thing is correlation, casual comparative, experimental, historical, ethnographics, action research, and survey. A good research will start with a survey and it will have a very good plan so that you can correlate that one. And then comes your, that is called methodology, called experimental. And according to the experimental example for, say, food microbiology, how it starts in the year of 19, it started the production of wine. So previously, we never know how the wine is getting fermented. And then we identified because of this particular yeast. So there comes the historical one, the food preservation. Nowadays, we all know lactobacillus, and we all know what a lactic acid will do, very good preservative. So it's originated based on the research of historical one. And these are the components of a research proposal. Everyone know, we know what is the origin, what is the scope of research, what is objective. So it follows in if you see the ground plan, this is the basic one. You have to write introduction, research aims and questions, study project designs. You can see before that literature review, study project design, And then timeline. So in a matter of a 1-year project, if you receive, you have to put them in a quarterly way, right? In a quarterly, like within a 2 months or a period of 3 months, what is going to be your goals? How are you going to meet it? What are the deliverables? That's called the timeline. And then the timeline should be in a graphical manner, also should explain more things on it. And then expected outcomes. Yes, you can display many projects, many of your products out, put a display on it. This will be the expected one. Or if you have any prototype, you can also include that one. So these are the origin, objective, justification. You're going to justify. Example, your project required some instrumentation. Say, for example, you're going to code for the SIM or TEM or FTIR or MALDI-TOF or any kind of GPC, gel permeable chromatography, anything like that. Make sure you're giving some proper justification for it. Example, to characterize the biopolymer, I require this MALDI-TOF. And to characterize particular protein, I require these kind of spectrophotomic analysis. So it should be justified. And make sure you always attach the quotation along with the proposals. That gives you even more promising way to get the project. And then introduction. And very important thing is review of literature. So as we say, once we started to read all the abstract, then pull all your desired papers, then started taking notes. So nowadays you have very good AI tools that will take notes for you, but I recommend to take it manually. You'll get even more grounded ideas. Then methodology, you have to follow the methodology in a flowchart way. Basically, you can put a flowchart which I represent here on the right side of the panel. It should be a workable model, and it should contain the time frame and work schedule, like how you're going to plan. What all your institute has already existing some instrumentation. You can put them in work schedule also. And then person needed, like it's going to be your the person that for JRF or going to be a project assistant or professional assistant. And then facilities needed. Although you have your institution, what are the other facilities needed for you? Then budget comes an important role. Suppose if that project demands is 4 crore, you have to meet the 4 crore. So sometimes we have a rough idea to quote for the less amount, it definitely will not be get selected when you go for. And even if it is exceeding that, it also not comes under their own followers. So it won't be selected. So make sure the budget is having very constrict one and it should follow the proper figure. Then outcomes. What is the final outcomes of your projects? Then this outcome, how it's going to catch all the multidisciplinary approaches. For example, it's going to be a hospital, it's going to be in a management way, or it's going to be an environmental, it's going to be a socioeconomic needs. So all these need how it's going to be outcomes and what limitations you have. Try to put some limitations that are manageable way. Example, the pollution out control will be manageable, less manageable or less toxic. Rather than we say no toxic, it can be less toxic one so that we can arrange some type of cleaning methods later, some bioremediation method we can include. So these are the steps of writing a research proposal. So most proposal contain at least these elements. First, when we all know introduction, review of literature, research design, you can include more infographics nowadays for research design and data analysis, expected findings, reference list, budget, and expected schedule. So how many years you're going to complete. There are many projects now coming under, say, for example, for 6 months and 5 months. So people are more interested for the time scale that we have to follow. Then in step 1, introduction. Yes, we're going to give you the introduction. We're going to answer some question like what, how, where, and how, right? So these questions has to be answered. First, we have to identify the problem. Why you are writing this proposal? What makes it very novel? So researcher want to do and why. So introduce the topic. Example, my topic is going to be a plant-based one or a biopolymer from plants. So I will give a background information about that particular plant and the biopolymer itself. Then give the background of the contents. So you can give the background in the sense like what are the already existing one, how it's going to differ in your new. Like you can give a SOP, we call it as a statement of problems. Most of the CSIR or a DBT, they require the statement of problems. Then objective of the study. Then you can find many research questions. It will answer based on your surveys. Step 2, review of literature. That is going to be related literature. Make sure if your particular research is on mushroom, you have to go through only with the fungi or with the mushroom. It should be very specific. Or if it is any kind of a civil work, yes, it's going to be your 3D architecture or automatic healing properties of a particular brick or cement or any kind of bridge related studies. Everything should be followed in a proper way. Make sure the researcher are not simply repeating what other people have already done and said. So make sure it should not be a repeated one. And the review of literature should be in a period of a recent and within 5 years. And then you have to demonstrate exactly how present research will contribute to conversation in the field. You can compare and contrast, like what is your new methodology and the existing one. Then it should be critical. It should be a timely one. Then show how present research fits in it. You can prepare some model or you can prepare some kind of evaluation chart nowadays you have. So you can make sure that particular plan is getting fixed here. You can make sure for Taguchi model, any kind of response methodology or any kind of prediction software can be used in this. Then important aspect is research design. Here comes the important part, the heart of a research design. So the section overall approach and practical steps, the researcher will take the answer from these questions like research type. It is a qualitative or quantitative one. It don't want to be a quantitative one. Sometimes it qualitative itself, it also satisfies most of the research proposals with. Then it will collect original data with primary and secondary sources. So you can submit your primary and secondary sources as initial data. Then this research design descriptive or experimental one. It can be a descriptive and it should be an experimental aspect. Then what is the sources? You can select the sources of research. Then research methods. How are you going to collect and analyze the data? And this is data analysis and finding, where you can get more kind of help with previously we use ANOVA or SPS, right? So nowadays more tools are there. We can make use of this data analysis softwares. So you will find to get the results for expected findings, implications, which contribute the knowledge, suggestions for the further studies, which you call the future studies, right? For suggestion for further studies, limitations to the studies, as I already say, it should be a manageable one, and then conclusion. And a reference list. When we prepare a bibliography, it should follow API format. So most of the journals required in a bibliographic in a different format. Right. API format is a universal one, which you can follow it. So make sure the reference should be within 5 to 10 years and a recent one. And make sure all the references are from the very good cited journals. Okay. So it should have a reputed journals. Make sure when you are citing any kind of journals and things, or if you're collecting any reference, make sure you're having very good impact on it. Because your project will directly implies on your reference list. So people now, you can see some students will usually do, they'll copy paste some reference from different way. So once they correlate it, it will not be a matchable. So make sure that reference is appropriate and it is matching to according to your proposal. If you use proper citation, full publication details should always be included in the references. Yes. You can also include your reference list, which you already know that you are very strong in your core. You can include it. Then budget as expected. Yes. What is the cost? Exactly how much needed for the research? And then what is the determined research budget is? Then travel costs, explanation. We all know what are the costs that we have, contingencies, consumables. Okay. What are the other miscellaneous one? You have to know how to write a proper split up. So travel cost, which we can be nowadays, they are getting many travel grant also. You can also give your proposal and take help from travel grant. Example, DBT or DST provide more numbers of travel grants. Then materials, so whether you're going to procure the materials or you're going to generate the materials. So what is the need and what are the tools that going to do? Then assistance. What are the assistants you require? Example, to hire a manpower. It can be you can be a JRF or SRF and a kind of a project assistant or a technical assistant. So make sure it covers in the budget. It should not exceed from your consumables. And then the time frame. So how much will the researcher need to cover a particular time spent on the research? Progress of a research work. Yes, you need to have a proper tracking. Every institution have their own committee to track the project work. Yes, because if one person has a project and he's going to apply for another one, that new agency will ask about your existing project, how it goes, whether your project is completed or what stage it is in, whether you have the complete project list with you. It is a good work. Yes, they will definitely find out your reputation. So make sure whenever, even if you get a project of 10,000 worth, make sure you're giving it on your full research. Like you have to give your full results, your full outcomes, so that gives you more reputation for binding, for getting more research proposal grants. So start work according to the design plan, prepare the progress report during the conduct of work. Yes, normally we give for a research for 6 months. Here you can give for 3 months here. The results should be compiled regularly on weekly basis. Here you can get a weekly basis and submitted as progress, final report within the specific time of duration according to the guidelines. Budget preparation. Yes, most of the time we have certain time. The limitation which we face in our research proposal is budget preparation. So nowadays they give a very good split up, which you have to put a rough figure on it. And make sure you giving the proper justification. If it is a manpower, make sure it is a project assistant. So his pay scale should not go beyond 32,000. So if it is an JRF or any kind of an experienced person, technical assistant, so you have to give them proper justification, even for your contingencies too, consumables and contingencies. So prepare a budget by tabulating in a spreadsheet, then add percentage time spent per month, and then add specification number of equipments, unit, the total cost of specific time duration, and give justification for each item and describe the rules of purchase and avoid calculation errors. Yes, definitely. Most of the people will not give a normal review. They will just put a rough figure and they will just send it through online. And the online copy will be different from the hard copy. So those are the basic thing which we have to avoid it. So make sure the calculation are proper terms. When you calculate from the right to left or like a matrix, it should maintain the same figure, same value. So it's a rough structure of equipment, consumables, and service costs, which anyone would have seen it. So you can put a proper split up of, you can see consumables, what are the equipment needed for that. You can see the travel cost, you can see the service cost. So there are some particular slab which you can see for natural calamities also, because we never know if there is anything which has to get a proper way which we can communicate to the particular agency and then justify the equipment. So already see there can be a budget, it may be a consumable printer or a paper or a stationery, and a maintenance cost. You can put some AMC for a particular laptop or which you purchase or a particular instrument that require. So make sure that you are very specific in give justification. And the staff can make sure this particular should be justified in necessary skills. They should possess necessary skills. So we know how the recruitment goes on. So if it's going to be our own project student, or you know it is an open interview given in a newspaper ad, we pick based on their biodata. So what necessary skills they have. So we will ask them questions, or it can be an objective one, a descriptive one. Make sure it's very skilled and you have a proper experience on it. And it should specify the budget of such staff only for a period required. Because we know there is a scientist opening for 5 years. It will be a 4 crore project. So most of Anna University faculties would have got this project. It will be a 5 years, or you can say, take an example for National Institute of Ocean Technology. You have 5 years and 8 years of project work. And then it's better to utilize the staff who are on regular pay and may help on zero cost. Yes, if you have a particular staff who is already enrolled, yes, the work will be even more simpler. So make sure the instrument, the cutoff value, everything are giving proper justification. Then consider outsourcing consultancy projects as their most common cut items. Then trying together parts of a proposal. Okay, it should be a clear link between different parts of the project, that is objective, methodology, and outcomes. A proposal be very explicit in its plan. If it's good, it will be a reviewer, workless in understanding plan of a project. Then why you have to choose multidisciplinary research? So example, you have a problem, it should be a real world problems that demand integrated approaches. So example, if there is a particular waste, it is generated. Recently, we have heard a news in Gujarat or in Assam or in a kind of a state where you can see more amount of paddy field waste are there. How you can convert that paddy field waste? So there are many proposals when for that one particular, make them into charcoal, make them into fertilizer, make them into kind of an packaged one material for cattle feed. So this is called a real world problem. It should be an integrated one. And then which sparks innovation through convergence of ideas. Yes, it's not a diverge one, it is a convergence one. But then preferred by funding agency for comprehensive impact. So I will give you the list of the research proposal which are there, which we have tried for every year, which is open for in every year proposal. You'll have an idea what are the funding agency name and what is the comprehensive impact of it. So these are the key elements, like make sure clear problem statement, smart objectives, interdisciplinary methodology, define team roles. So it can be a collaborative one person from India, one person from another place in India. It can be a defined team roles, realistic budget, a workable budget. Then, as I said, the outcome should be a prototype or a picture that represents your product. Then sustainability and scalability. Yes. So sustainability, we all know nowadays, most of the agriculture will be sustainable. We heard this word, which will become very familiar. Like, so every year, every time, we can give the same outcomes without any delay. And scalability, yes, it should have if it is a small scale, can go for a higher one, industrial scale up. So these are the example. A problem might be defined as an issue in a literature theory, factor that leads to need for the study. And you can see effective problem statement answer the question, why does this research need to be conducted? You can ask your same and you can give the answer for the statement of problem. You require scientific justification. And you can see this normal research statement should satisfy the following criteria. Yes. Make sure you have these key variables included in the study. State the relationship between variables. Okay, we all know of the sigma value or the p value not beyond go 5, right? Everything should be a variable one. State population to which results would be applicable and avoid redundant words and use only acceptable scientific terms. So we all know certain chemistry or biological one, which are universally accepted. Make sure you're putting not your own language. Make sure it's an acceptable scientific terms. And this is an important thing rationally. So this rationale of the study contains 3 questions that has to be answered. Why the study is important? Very, very important one. Why the study is important? Then how the study is important? And for whom the study is important? So what are your targeted audiences? This proposal is going to address whom? And how you're going to do the study? And why it is important? If it is answering 3 these questions, definitely your proposal is going to be a very much catchy one. It will attract more kind of audience. So rationally should be a concise statement. Make sure it is concise one. And providing a framework to details are added and should reflect the significance purpose of the study. Very important to pivotal sections. And too many objectives should be avoided. Make sure the objectives are very much highlighted and it should be a precise one. Even just one clearly stated relevant objective for study would be good enough. Even for nowadays, we're giving guidance to UG students or PG students or a PhD. We know to select the objective. So the objective becomes their main study as a chapters in their PhD or going to be for a PG students, which we give the objectives for this one. So the objective plays an important role. Make sure it is very clear. If it is more than one objective, the objective can be presented in appropriate order of importance. Make sure you are highlighting it or put a subheading according to it, highlighting in a different color. These are specific objective. So specific objective aims 2 to 3. The aim, make sure controls are added to the approaches taken. Always give what your expected results. Always give alternative approaches since pitfalls can happen. I'll explain pitfalls in the next slide. And address feasibility if you have not demonstrated that you can do experimental proposed. And as we said, eliminations are high whenever the opportunities are very, very high, right? You can see there is a cutoff thing. Even our students will face the cutoff. Same thing, the rejection will be there. So make sure many specific aim is banned. So this is 2-year proposal, and if it is too ambitious, it will give a negative impact. And then avoid many specifics on experiment. Structure aim so that aim 2 is dependent on a aim 1. Then don't avoid issues within the field of research. So you have to say, what is the problem? If it doesn't address the problem and giving the more solution or methodology, it is a rejection way. That easily the reviewer can reject it. And these are the examples. I will give you more examples on this one. Give an importance of the objectives. Yes. So it helps to the focus and avoid the collection of data and organize the study in clearly defined parts.
So these are the questions we call as a hypothesis. Yes. Questions are relevant to normative or census type of research. So questions are more often used in qualitative inquiry. Hypotheses are relevant to theoretical research that are typically used in quantitative inquiry. Make sure these are hypotheses, research hypotheses. Literature review, importance of the question asked by the investigator, the current status of the topic. Normally, we'll give this literature review for a national and international way. So 10 national, 10 international, and it should be a current and the old one. And how are you going to relate the literature and your problem statement? And you can give a summary. Like author has explained in this way of approaching this particular problem. It has been expressed in this journal, which is similar to our work. You can express it. Then methodology. When you have a collection of methodology, make sure it is put it according to this plan, like participants, research design, data collection, which data collection can be from the instrumental way or a survey or a pilot studies, then propose analysis of data, then propose the result of data. This covers all the A to E under methodology. Sample size. So previously we have heard a research like what is a random sampling or correlative sampling, how you take a sample research based on a research proposal, right? Same thing for a sample size. It could be a larger people, a larger portion of the one, or for a confined people. Then time frame and work schedule. The proposal should include the sequence of tasks to be performed and anticipated length of time required for its completion and personal. So make sure when you follow the proper time limit, there is no explanation for the extension of time. Of course, if there is any natural calamities or if going to be any like a COVID pandemic approach one, yes, there are things which have given more time limit. But make sure you adhere to the time limit. And ethical consideration. Example, if there is any clinical microorganisms, clinical works required, you require the ethical consideration. You cannot do pull a lab level animal studies or anything. Make sure you're doing it in a proper ethical way or a cell line studies. Okay, so all research protocols in the biomedical field, particularly involves in the human subject, must include a section addressing ethical consideration. Then how to write references. As I said, we all know follow the APA format. Two methods worldwide recognized: Harvard type and Vancouver type. So Vancouver type is most of the international one. They will cover will be covering to write proposal in this way, Vancouver type. So another one is personal. Make sure who are primary investigator, co-investigator. So when you are proposing along with your colleague, he'll become your co-investigator and you become your investigator. And qualification and research experience. Suppose your co-investigation have more experience, yes, even that proposal gains even more interest. So make sure you are collaborating with your co-investigator and is very strong in that subject. Then the proposal may also include the major roles to be taken by a different investigator. A guide or a supervisor, yes. It should be a selection, referees in your field of research. Choose a scientific colleague that will be objective and not too critical of science. And you can concentrate more on the what are the ways of rejection, right? What you say. Do not choose collaborators. Don't choose collaborators. Then do not choose competitors in your field with divergent views. It should be a convergent one, not a divergent views. Then do not choose the top scientists in your field since they will not respond and will be too critical in general. Okay, we all know how busy the person will be. So make sure he is in your same field of interest and the time limit are carried accordingly. And the budget. We all know the good detailed account view of a budget and spending the money. And approximately 1/3 of the budget should go to the supplies. So this is how it goes. 1/3 of the budget will go to the supplies. Then what are the way they get reject graduate students should not be used in the budget. Support since an easy target to reduce due to alternative funding sources. So make sure you can put a student from UG or PG and during his due course of time in this project, we can pull this data. No, it will never work in this way because the students will keep upon the timeline. It will exceed your timeline. So make sure you are putting some JRF or SRF and is a standard working protocol. Then do not justify spending all the budget on personal needs. So we have seen how to switch over this laptop into a machine or to an AC. So make sure it is not at all justified for personal needs. Then summary of a research proposal. So this is a eye-catchy one. Whenever they read any thesis or any proposal, the summary plays an important role. It's very easy to get all the important points from the summary. rather than I go to the detailed methodology of the research finding. So the summary, if it is a good view, if a selecting view, make sure it is very short, informative, and having some information to justify the background. That's what we say hypothesis or objective. Then clearly state the hypothesis, state the objectives, the aim, the proposal, and the statement of scientific one, innovation of a proposal, and find acronyms such as possible. Make sure it's not getting rejected by these norms. Example, technical and condensed phrasing of the project. No clear statement of what is the purpose of the study. So make sure it is having a meaningful purpose of the study and it is technically and condensed phrasing of the project. Applicant CV. Most of the time, we all know about the applicant CV. We all know about it. If suppose you are giving it for a biotechnological one and that person is not from a biotechnology background, yes, it not be a track record. So these are the pitfalls, which I said, for proposal writing. Vague objective. Make sure the objectives are very, very narrow and it should be a precise one. Then mismatch with the aims and methods. The aim is to find out some plant research, but your methods will be giving in a different way. Make sure it is not in a mismatch one. Then poor novelty. Most of the things you get rejected, they will simply write in a way there is no novelty. So make sure it is novel and it is very unique. Then budget misalignment. If there is a proper figure is not maintained, or if you misalign with the travels and contingency in a different way, and you're not attaching your any kind of your proposal along with the quotation. So these are the weak outcome statements. These are the proposal pitfalls. So they fail based on the ethic clearance, failure to follow guidelines, and review concern. So you have already seen. Okay. So these are the grants and what skills should have. So I have a bright career of the ambitious researcher to meet budget need for completing research project, to convince funding agencies through innovative research proposals, and to turn their dream project ideas into a reality. Yes. I have personally gained this knowledge, like through your due course of PhD one, and you know how to get the product. If it is a theoretical one, you'll not be able to get it. But when you have a project, someone is funding for that, especially from a government project, and when you get a product out of it, so it becomes a dream project. Basic steps of a grant proposal writing. Research should have a general proposal in hand. Make sure there is a project coming next month and we can start writing on the day one. No, you should always have some project in your bucket list. Okay, it should have a rough idea on it. Once you know about it, start writing every day. It should be in a matter of time. We have to spend at least 20 minutes for your particular dream project. Research should have a general proposal in hand. And even to get a PhD, we approach a guide through proposal, right? So when you get a proposal that is being submitted to funded agency, make sure it's having very much general proposals and should respond to funding calls by transforming the project in hands according to needs of funding agencies. Should be very vigilant about calls of funding agency. Make sure it is a yearly one or a particular stipulated on time. What are funding calls? Yes, I will tell you the important thing. What are the proposal submission one? What are the achievements that you can do? Okay. I will give you some live ideas in this one. This is steps to respond funding calls. Yes. What type of project it is and type of funding agencies. Then you're going to augment it. You're going to tailor all the proposal call. Then submit the letter. Then agency review. Then accept or decline. Once it gets accepted, and you're going to complete all your formalities. And then it carry out the project. Then submit the reports on a timely scale. So it's already seen this one. Define a proposal, ask myself question is. Define the funding agency. Prepare list of possible agency in the periodic calls. Select the agency which is demanding proposal most relevant to objective and field of your research. We know from anyone from wood research, if a call from central wood industry, yes, it will be eye-catchy one. So modify the personnel according to the needs or priorities of the funding agencies. The time task. Then, but rewards the benefits in the long run. We all know about this famous saying. It is a time-consuming task, but rewards its benefit in the long run. So now how are you going to collect the database? A source of information would be NCBI or a government institution one, research-based project. So tailoring a proposal. Okay. So we know many tools are available right now. But if you have a very good grammatical skills or you know how to write in a future tense, yes, it's going to be very easier for you. Write a proposal considering yourself a critical reviewer. Do the objectives of the proposal address the specific national problem? It should address a national problem. Then what is the impact of the proposed project on the priority area? Is the plan methodology proposal workable one? And how the hypothesis or result may be determined? And what are your findings? Review and submission of your project. Before you review and submit, make sure you have one or two colleagues who are very strong in your field. You go through with them, they will find out more kind of errors which is their field of interest. Okay, and often it is very helping in improving a proposal getting explained. Then colleague working in the same field, as we said. These are personal cost for a particular project. These are the split up. Funding agency, which I have included here. You all know about this DST SERB, DBT, ICAR, MOEF, ICMR, UGC Stride, which many one know for Stride profit. Then MSME, BIRAC project, International, Indo-UK, Erasmus, TWAS. It is a funding agency in India. So I can give you this example, which I have got. It's a very first project for me from EDI for 2 lakhs. Previously, I have got only 10,000 from TNSTC. That's really the initial way. With the 10,000, I have completed a protocol on time, and then I've taken that as a credibility and approached this project. And through this, I also got CSIR project. You can see production of sustainable packaging. So my field of interest is biopolymer and bioplastic making. So this is my budget split up, which I have given here. So it's going to be this much of amount, and they have released this much in the first duration, the second release, and which how much of I have claimed it, and what are the necessary justification which I have given. So the project time limit is just 12 months. So this is a budget which I have framed. It's a contributing budget. You can see there how much your industry going to give and your institution going to give. So fabrication is 6,000. I have just split up based on the chemicals required and the unit price according to the split up. This is a product which I have gained from my product. So this is my performer, like what are the projects that I have acquired? TNSCAC DIT 50,000, Wales seed money grant of 1 lakh, and EDA project of 2 lakhs, and TNSC student project for 10,000. And previously, I also got CSIR project, also worth 5 lakhs. So these are the objectives which I have proposed in my project. I see I have given a bioexploration of insectivorous plants, then screening. What are the historical one? What is the development of wound healing bandage? This is a novelty of my own research. If you take this as an example, see there, it's the objectives are meeting the right point. Development of wound healing bandages, food packaging materials, sustainable impact. So it should give a sustainable impact. It's example, say petroleum-based plastic can be overcome using of this biopolymer alternatives. These are the uniqueness of a project. I'm started using the insectivorous plant, a nepenthes or a sundew plant. So which very few research are there and which is not seen in the due course of 10 years. So I have taken that as my unique way and started using the biopolymer in this field of study. So the scalability which I have included, you can see everyone. The unexplored microbial necking, where you can see dual application, integrated approaches there, sustainability emphasis, and scalability. So these are my key points which I have included in my writing of proposal, which gain more interest to the reviewers. Then these are the methodology which usually give. This will be a product outcome also from the plant, and through the biopolymer producing microorganisms, you develop a product and you just include some other person from your colleague and make them into a plastic material one, then make them into wound bandages. So these are the sample collection, screening, identification, biopolymer production analysis, starch-based wound healing bandages, high polymer. These are the important way. Then these are the outcomes which I have seen in my own projects. These are the applications. And this is a thing I have given in my project proposal called multidisciplinary approach, where you can see material science is there in this project for wound healing, and chemistry is required for the modification of the particular fiber through characterization study for analytical, and you also required biomedical engineering for making into a safety and efficient medical use for giving for the ethical conditions. Then agriculture is certainly involved when you use with plants. So these are the budget to like 1,20,000 which I propose, and I received 1 lakh from the whale seed money. So this is a timeline which I have followed: screening, isolation, scale up of biopolymer, extraction. This is my timeline for 1 year, which I've highlighted in this study. These are the case study for soil fertilizer. These are disciplines, the goal, outcomes, and the funding which I approaches MSME and DBT. So another example case study is a probiotic chocolates. So how it catches the audiences based on the food microbiology. So it covers discipline from microbiology, nutrition, and physiology. So this is called as a multidisciplinary approach. Then for a goal, develop consumer-friendly therapeutic chocolate. Then outcome will be a gut health, reproductive wellness. The funding, these are the fundings which have applied through DBT, ICAR, private, and FMCG. The case three, the polymer wound, which I've already seen here. So make sure the funding agency DST, HEB, and BIRACS. So some helping tips I can give. So these are the opportunities for the grant which are open in every year. So they don't have a time limit. You can propose, you can apply them. It is throughout the year. So you can have an interest of CEPI vaccine, TWAS, MSME, DRDO, DST, CRIC, NSF, ESRC, NSF, BIRAC, Travel Support, JC Bose Fellowship, Power Fellowship, Abdul Kalam Fellowship, STEM Demo Grants, and TIDE Program, BRNS, TNSCST, and AICTE, and MEITY. All these are the research fellowship grant. So the highlight of this one is called open throughout the year, align with your subject domain, use institution collaboration, and regularly check with the websites of the particular SERB, DST, BIRAC, and programs. So you can see all these are proposals. One uses the improved format. So there are high chances of rejection, as I said. So all these are things, believe that someone wants to give you money, consider the long-term goals of the institution, start with the end in the mind, identify yourself and your strength, create a comprehensive plan on not just a proposal of what you wish to achieve. So the funding bodies look for good researchers. So make them, you have the potential investor of your ideas, and you must sell your idea, be enthusiastic about the work. So why should they give grant? You can ask your own self questions. Why have to they give grant? It's going to be any novel thing, or as a very application to multidisciplinary one. Okay. And make sure you're not begging, or you use references like select this project using any kind of influential way. It's also giving a demerits for your approach. Then you have ideas, then you have a money. Yes. So what are the objectives of the project? What will be your outcomes? Does the proposal address a well-formulated problem? If the researcher problem or a routine application of known techniques, so whose solution have a useful effects? So all these are important questions which has to be answered when you complete a proposal. If it is answer all these one, too many objectives have to be avoided, right? When you follow all this proposal, yes, it's going to be an eye-catchy proposal now. So always, which you usually say, don't feel embarrassed for asking for funds. That's for money. So never ask for money, it will not be offered. And at first, you don't succeed and try to again. Learn from the feedback regarding to the rejected proposal. Yes. Whenever you usually face when a particular journal is not selecting your papers, right? Just rejection will not merely satisfy you, but that reviewer gives you a full page of comments. Like change this. It could have been better like this. Yes. Follow all those comments, even for a proposal, so that you will get a quality of A1. So don't feel ashamed or embarrassed about asking money. And if you never ask for money, you will be never offered for it. So final takeaway, multidisciplinary research is where knowledge meets impact. Proposal are your bridge. So I thank for the management of Sacred Heart College for giving me this opportunity. And I'm finalizing the research ideas here and my PowerPoint presentation. So I'll be very happy if you can post some question. You can ask some questions or doubts or clarification. It's open for question. So let me
Dear participants,
It's not
if you have any
9%
queries, kindly
Yes,
unmute your
Reshma. Yes, Reshma.
see some questions are posted in the chat box. Solution needs problems.
Yes, so someone is asking sometimes why funder not explaining the reason for the rejection.
Reason for the rejection. Yes, I do receive many rejections also in this way, because certain funded projects, when you're not following the proper guidelines, it may be a time limit one, or even if you follow the time limit one, the maximum thing is if they are giving you a buffer time. For example, it is open for application for 10 days and you're not following the proper way. Yes, there are chances for rejection. As I said, there will be more amount of elimination rather than rejection. So make sure you are highlighting your core strength and make sure it covers all the formatting capacity. Are you sending it to brown cover or sending a different covers? Even that also matters. And whom you are addressing with particularly. What is your targeted audience at? Whether they're going to be beneficial or it's going to be merely a project one. Because many staff nowadays we see just for a proposal they will write and they will put in their own their academic background. So there are many like this. So there are chances of rejection. Make sure you're targeting a particular audience, and then this is the best way to eliminate the particular disease. Definitely get selected. You can also ask if that particular person is rejecting, you can ask them in a technical note. So if you can give the clear explanation for the rejection, yes, they will definitely give you. Even for a DST particular project, when we approached, they said only one word for rejection. Then we claimed and we asked all the questions.
Okay, thank you. Then someone is asked, we have an idea of biopolymers. We want to bring about a prototype. Please give suggestions.
So you have an idea of biopolymers. Yes, I'm very much welcome to join because I'm recently got a project from TNSKC-DIT to conduct a 3 days program. So if possible, they can join to me. I'm going to conduct in the month of July, possibly in the second week. I will give the notification to this management. So definitely you can collab with me and you can bring out more color benefits on this, because I'm projecting for food cutleries and packaging of food additive without any additives, and how you can exceed the time frame, like it will not get degraded or how fast it get degraded. So I can split up in that. So they can
Sudarshan, sir, your voice is
yes.
less audible, sir.
Okay, okay. One moment,
Okay,
sir.
now please. Now it is clear. Now it is clear.
Okay, now it's clear, sir. Yes, yes. So that's what I say. I'm much very much welcoming because I'm going to conduct a program for 3 months, that for 3 days, for TNSCC DIT project. So you can collaborate with me and you can bring more suggestion for the biopolymers. If you have a field of interest, you can collaborate with me.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am,
And
just a
someone is
second.
asked, yes, sir.
Just read. Go ahead with the questions. Then I will speak. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So then someone is asked, what is the norms for a college to get DPT star?
What is the sorry.
What is the norms for your college to get DPT star?
Get DPT start, like make sure your college is as having already funded projects. Okay. So it should have a funded projects and make sure minimum 4 to 5 undergrad courses and basic science in botany or multidisciplinary they have already achieved it. And adequate faculty expertise. Make sure all are completed in their PhD or some in
Sir,
doctorate.
excuse me, sir. Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. Please. Thank you, sir.
I think it is audible for us. I think so.
Okay, I think it is audible to me, ma'am. Okay, I was just explaining about a particular thing for a DBT. Make sure that field of institution are giving a more expertise. Already some funded project should be there and it should be in a successful way. So the college must be a government accredited one, or they should have a tie-up with that one. And it should follow the UGC Act of 1956 in order to get for that particular DST.
Yes, sir. We are having UGC Act of 1956 and we got autonomous state. But we don't have any funded project other than the Tamil Nadu State Council student project schemes. Otherwise, we are getting funded for seminars, but we don't have any project for long-term projects. Shall we get DBT, sir?
Definitely you can get it. Now, even through conducting many consultancy project also you can approach it. Because TNST we're able to get it. Definitely it is open for all government projects. You can approach it. So make sure you're collaborating with any kind of an institution that is already established one. Any member out of your institutions. Anyone from CIT, anyone from CLRI, or anyone from a university, from an university, anything, you can make it a collaboration.
They should have a project on hand, otherwise just for the proposal we can collaborate with them,
No,
sir.
just for a proposal you can. Make sure they're following in your own field. That is enough.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your information.
Reshma, if
Yes, sir.
the questions are finished, shall I ask one question to sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And Dr. Sudarshan, this is Dr. Jayaprakash here. How are you?
Sir.
I think hope you are doing well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are my
Nice,
senior, sir.
nice.
I should be very much proud to say that.
Thank
We
you.
belong
Thank
to
you.
the same Institute of CS Botany. I
Thank you,
usually
thank
call
you for that.
usually call Anna. I'm supposed to call sir.
It was very nice lecture actually. So it is one
Oh,
of
thank you,
the,
sir.
what to say, the most clear and crisp lecture ever I have heard regarding research proposal writing. Okay, so it
Thank
was
you,
wonderful to see your lecture. I have just
Thank
only
you.
one question. Is there having a co-PA has an added advantage? Simply we are
Co-PA
asking that you can add co-PA for your proposals. Does it
proposals.
really has any advantage?
But it is merely is not advantage, sir. It will be somewhat, it will be a problematic way when we wantedly pull some person, because they will not be in your desired work of interest. So most of the proposal, they will not be having a copy unless if you are definitely in need of a project. Okay, we can pull them, but make sure it is not definitely needed of them.
Okay, so it's
Our
not
own
necessary.
profiles.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
sir.
wonderful input. Really, it was a very wonderful lecture. Okay, so we have gained a lot of knowledge. Hope we will be writing more proposals and collaborate in near future. Okay.
Sure, sir. I will take it as a very good spirit
On
on it.
behalf
Thank
of
you, sir.
the
Welcome.
China College and PG and Research Department of Biochemistry, I would like to thank you personally, as well as on behalf of our faculty members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Regarding DPT sir, Dr. Jayaprakash sir is the coordinator, sir. That ma'am actually asked me some questions. Sir has to enlighten her. I think her name Kalayvani, I think so.
Okay.
I think
I
we
can
can
answer.
have your email. Regarding we have some basic courses. Am I right, JP sir? It should be
Yes, sir, basic
zoology,
courses.
biochemistry, biology.
I think
Yeah.
they
Yes,
are calculating for both urban as well as rural. We have to correctly appear for that. If you apply for urban instead of urban, if you are applying for rural, they will directly get rejected. That's the problem.
So we are
Yeah.
having the basic fundamental courses like biotechnology, microbiology, botany, physics, chemistry,
Yes,
and we
madam.
consider one urban only, sir. But we don't have any funded projects. As I told already, we had only the students project scheme under Tamil Nadu State Council. Only
Okay, madam.
that's thing. And for seminars, we got from BRNS and Tamil Nadu State Councils like that. We don't have any long-term funded projects. That's what I'm having a doubt, sir. I came to know just now you are the person, actual person I have to ask. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your suggestion.
But we also in the applied stage, ma'am. We have not also got any sanction. Okay, so I think we have applied for 3 or 4 times. It was also not granted. Okay, so what they're saying is that our district has recently one became like became urban. Okay, so earlier it was in rural. Now it is separated as a separate district, so it comes under urban. Okay, so they are saying that you have to apply properly. Okay, so that may be the case. Not necessarily that we should have that funding. Okay, so what is the main thing is we have to keep on trying, ma'am. Keep on trying. Try to collaborate with the institution who have already got the projects.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
if you contact
We
me,
are
I will
also
also.
doing keep on trying.
Yes, ma'am. If you contact me, I can give you
Kalayvani, ma'am.
complete.
Kalaivani,
Sir,
ma'am,
sir,
your
sir.
college is aided institution, ma'am.
Sir, no,
உங்களுது
sir.
aided college
Self-financing,
ங்களா?
sir. Self-financing, sir.
Okay. Okay. Self-financing also
Autonomous.
they are applying. But as I told, இப்போ Sudarshan sir சொன்னவர், Anna also equally deserved to answer this question. Equally deserved it, Thambi. That's why I measure both of you. JP sir, the in charge part, he is working a lot regarding the DPT
Okay,
staff
sir.
team.
Okay, sir.
That's why I told him. Proceed.
Okay,
Sure,
sir.
ma'am. We'll collaborate, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, ma'am
I'll
is
get
asking about
contact
your
with him, sir.
PPT. If you are okay, you can send me. I will send to that ma'am. That one of the participants asking about your PowerPoint presentation. If you permit, we will share with them with your permission. It was nice presentation.
Sure. I will share with you. I'll send it to your email.
Sir, can we have your mail ID, sir?
Sure, ma'am.
If you
I will
don't mind,
just
please.
yes, I will type it in the chat box.
Thank you, sir.
With my personal email ID as well as the institutional email ID.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, that I will also send you the PPTs.
Yes, Reshma, now you can proceed, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
JP sir, anything else, sir?
Thank
No, sir.
you,
No, sir. No, sir.
Thank you, sir, for
I think Reshma have some technical issue.
Some network
We came
issue.
to the end of this program. Yes, Reshma.
Sir, can I audio?
Yes, ma'am. It is audible. Please proceed.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for your engaging and insightful section on research proposal writing and funding in multidisciplinary research. Your clear explanation and the real-world examples on topic were incredibly helpful. Dear, thank you, sir, once again, and thank you so much, sir. Behalf of our faculty members and participants. Dear participants, I hope you all had the enriching and experience during day 4 of our faculty development program. It gives me immense pleasure to invite you to join us for day 5 of the FDP, which promise another round of insightful section, engaging discussion and knowledge sharing. Looking forward to your enthusiastic presence and participation. Thank you. Thank you to all. Day 4 feedback link post in chat box. Kindly fill it. Thank you.
Thank you, Reshma. Thank you, JP sir. Thank you, speaker sir, Sudarshan sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Thanks
Thank you,
for
Nia,
your
sir.
available.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sudarshan, sir.
Shiva sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sheila ma'am.
Good night. Have a nice day.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you, Nia, sir.
Thank you, all of you. God bless. Thank you.